Hey everybody, how's it going? We are here at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. Our friend, where'd Dina go? There she is. Our friend Dina is with us. Chrissy is already vamoosed. She doesn't want to be on here. But we're going to come here today. We're going to check out, they have an Auschwitz exhibit going on. Got our tickets for that a couple months ago. So we are going to go check that out and the rest of the library too. So let's go see what's happening. We're in here waiting still about an hour until our time to go into the Auschwitz exhibit. You had to get tickets in advance for this. For those of you who may still want to go, this is May 6th, and the exhibit is open until August 13th. But anyway, in keeping with that theme, this is one of the quotes Ronald Reagan had, and we're going to get to see some of that, the exhibit of some of that. I'm unsure how this is going to affect me, but it's obviously going to be powerful. As you can see here, we must develop geothermal energy, move forward on solar energy research, and every other promising means of meeting our energy needs. You would think that the Republicans hate anything to do with renewable energy, and that's just absolutely untrue. We just don't believe for a second that it's going to meet our energy needs. And this room is dedicated to the assassination attempt on March 30th, 1981. I remember all that like it happened yesterday. Ronald Reagan's letter to Leonid Brezhnev. But what I remember about this really is how everyone pulled together, and America just doesn't do that anymore. Even Democrats who really, maybe they didn't vote for Reagan or agree with all of his policies, but they pulled for him, and it really united the country. And I think that's what I remember the most about it, other than the fact that I found out what a badass Ronald Reagan was.
The president, working for him and us, has an office over there. They do typically keep a small office on that west wing for the president should he want to do work there rather than the Oval Office. And many presidents have saved the Oval Office for, dignitaries and presentations and whatnot. President Reagan felt it was an honor and a privilege. He had worked hard to be president, so he always worked in the Oval Office and always in a suit on the weekdays. He did take homework home. The White House is three things. It's a residence, it's a museum, and it is the Oval Office. So it offices and whatnot. So it serves three different purposes.
This is the 5th time that we've been to the Reagan, and one of the things that just dawned on me that I always feel when I'm here is happy. And I know that I'm sure Ronald and Nancy weren't always happy. They went through a lot of issues while he was president, but he never showed that side to the public, nor did she. All they ever presented was strength and goodwill. And that is something that has been lacking for a long, long time in the presidency, in my opinion. This room is dedicated to Nancy Reagan, who I think is the most elegant and classy First Lady we've had in my lifetime. I was alive when Jackie Kennedy was the First Lady. She seemed to be pretty cool, but I don't remember her. But Nancy Reagan was a great first lady. The only thing she really ever got involved in publicly was the fight against drug abuse. She didn't try to tell people how to raise their kids. She didn't tell us what we ought to eat. And she was a beautiful, classy woman. And I appreciated her as First Lady. All right, we've got Air Force One here. This is the 707 version. And gonna go in and check it out. It's awesome. And looking out across Simi Valley there. All right, let's go check out the plane. All right. Venturing inside Air Force One.
Like a tax or fax?
Communications Center.
Hello.
Galley. And this was Reagan's office with any president who used this plane, but in this case Ronald Reagan and his ever-present jar of Jelly Bellies.
No.
And they were Jelly Bellies.
Yes, first time.
This is the communication center. Good to there.
Jump seats for attendance.
The Air Force technicians had sent right here. In between them was the nuclear football.
Conference area. Bob Oak with the Reagans. This is where the guests and staff would have sat here. Security would have sat here. Secret Service. And then this was where guests and press would have sat. Anybody else who wasn't a honcho or a VIP back here in the economy class. Another galley. Restrooms or lavatories if you prefer. All right. Okay, well, we are going to head on down. This is a cool shot. We're going to head on down to the Auschwitz exhibit and go check that out. All right, well, we did the Auschwitz exhibit. It was very powerful. I'm not going to include that in this the Berlin Wall. I'm sure that most of the people, almost everybody, according to my analytics, that watches this channel remembers clearly the fall of the Berlin Wall and Mr. Gorbachev tear down this wall. Straight jacket. Sometimes I feel that's what they need to wrap me up in. The bad guys of my youth and younger days. This is one of the beams from the North Tower of the World Trade Center from the 9/11 attacks. Pretty cool. It's got the FDNY 343. That represents the 343 firefighters who lost their lives that day. This is a room that is dedicated to heroes of the United States. Medal of Honor recipients, Challenger astronauts, New York firefighters, and others. Pretty cool. As anyone who knew Reagan, he was very much into horses. And I guess those are some of his saddles. Got a tour group right behind me, so I'm trying to keep moving. Mementos from Camp David from his kept horses there. Riding with Mikhail Gorbachev. Model of the Reagan Library that we're in right now. This is the handwritten letter Ronald Reagan did for his speech that he gave to the American people upon being diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, which eventually took his life. He was diagnosed in 1994 and he passed away in 2004. I remember I was on vacation in a hotel room in Cedar City, Utah, when I heard the news that he had passed away. And I was very saddened.
Always remember, always feel one, the journey that we travel together.
We have lost a great president, a great man, and a great man. I have lost a dear friend. We have still
Years went by and he could no longer verbalize my name. He recognized me as the man who hugged him.
We have his example.
I don't know why Alzheimer's was allowed to steal so much of my
Not much else needs to be said about that.
but I know.
All right, well, let's go in here in the gift shop and see if I can't find something to spend some money on.
So do you like those Forged in Fire shows, you know, where they...
I think I'll buy me another golf shirt. I wore my other one out.
And then they melt schmelt.
All right, this is the grave, or the graves of President Reagan and First Lady Nancy. Beautiful, beautiful place for them to spend eternity. Overlooking, just a beautiful view out here. Wish it would have been cloudy when we were inside doing the pictures of Air Force One, so you can see that a little bit better. By the time we were done with the Auschwitz thing, we had only about a half an hour till we had to vamoose. It's 5 o'clock now, just after 5, and the museum's closing, and we are heading out. All right, well, that'll conclude our little trip to the Reagan Library in Simi Valley, visiting the regular Reagan Museum and the Auschwitz exhibit. But if you've never been to the Reagan, I strongly recommend that you come here. Heck, even if you're a Democrat, it's still a pretty cool place. The only thing I will say about the Auschwitz thing is that if you can see something like that and not be moved, you're wired wrong. But anyhow, here are the URLs to my Patreon and my PayPal account. If you can help the channel out that way, I'd really appreciate it. Keep shooting the ideas. Drop me comments below. Shoot me an email at motorport59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. We'll see you all later.